It's a very important day in my life today. After serving for around 9 years in the Indian Administrative Service, I have decided to resign from the service. This resignation has nothing to do with the factors within the service, but has everything to do with factors external to the service and the environment in which I have been working here. I must thank all my well-wishers, my family, my friends, who have supported me all these years in this amazing journey as a member of the service. The service has given me an opportunity to understand the development problems of the state and serve the people at the grassroots level. I will always be a proud ex-member of the service. Having said that, in the last few years, there have been certain circumstances both within the state and the rest of the country which have made me realize that there is time to speak up. By today's resignation, I am putting across a small act of defiance to remind the central government of its responsibilities towards the people of Jammu and Kashmir. I am resigning in protest against the lack of political initiative to assuage the hurt feelings of the people of Kashmir. Lack of a credible political initiative from the central government and denial of justice to the people of Kashmir has resulted into a massive escalation of violence in the valley, due to which a lot of lives have been lost in recent years. I wish to remind the central government that it's important that the right to life of the Kashmiri youth is respected. At the same time, if we look at the recent years, we have seen insidious attacks on the special identity of the Jammu and Kashmir state. The constitutional arrangement which exists between the state of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union of India under articles like 370 and 35A have been constantly invoked for electoral gains in rest of the mainland India. One more important source of my dejection with the present government has been the failure of the government to facilitate the homecoming of Kashmiri Pandits to the Kashmir Valley. Kashmiri Pandits are an important element of our diverse culture, and unless you create situation and circumstances favorable to their return in the valley, they will not be able to come back. I am also appalled by the lack of initiative to work towards bringing peace to the lives of border residents of the state, more so in Jammu, Araspura, Rajouri and other areas, where loss of life and limb is happening as a regular feature. Outside the state, we have seen that there have been constant attempts to undermine the regional integrity of the state, and an attempt is being made to play one region against another. Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, Pir Panchal, and Chenab Valley. These are very important and equal regions of the state, and any attempt to play one region against another needs to be resisted. When it comes to factors outside the state, the rise of lynch mob nationalism in last few years, which has led to extreme marginalization of the minorities, both ideological minorities and the religious minorities in the country, that has become a source of extreme dejection for me. I also wish to express my disgruntlement, which has in fact led to this decision today. It's about the curbs placed on the free speech of the individuals in the country and a culture of hate and intolerance being used to win elections in India. Lastly, I would say that it's the undermining of the very important institutions like CBI, NIA, and RBI, which have the potential of hurting the constitutional edifice of this country. These things and these provocations were something which I could not have overlooked. As a member of service, due to the conduct rules, it was impossible for me to speak on these issues. And today, as I chose to speak out, I am feeling extremely relieved. I wish to make an appeal to the people of India that they need to come to the rescue of the people of Kashmir. It's time that we work together for peace in the country. It's time that we counter the communal and hateful elements of the country and ensure that a message of tolerance and peace goes from here. I'll be expecting support from people across the country, more so the youngsters from Kashmir Valley, Jammu, Ladakh, Kargil, Leh, Pir Panchal, Chenab Valley, and other areas in this initiative. As I plan to embark on a new mission and a new journey in my life, I wish to go back to the grassroots, and I'll be trying to work for the people, working for the empowerment. At the same time, I wish that there is a time now to reimagine the politics in Jammu and Kashmir. It's time that we disrupt the politics the way it has been happening, and I'll be trying my best to do that. I thank you all. Honestly speaking, I'm deeply inspired by Imran Khan and Kejriwal, but we know that we're operating in a conflict zone, and it's not very easy for us to work in that space, the space which has lost legitimacy in the last few years. I wish if the youngsters of the state give me that kind of opportunity, I would be very happy to do a retake of Imran Khan and Kejriwal in the state.
So what about the yesterday's invitation by Egypt? Have you accepted that or not?
It's very nice of Engineer Rashid Saab to have invited me. My plan is to hold consultations with the stakeholders, talk to youngsters, talk to other political parties as well, and try to build a consensus that in Kashmir we need to come together. We are in a crisis situation. It's not time to do politics on the graves of the people, on the graves of the youngsters. So I'll be trying to reach out to all of the people.
Sir, why don't we change the scene? Parties were the responsible for the killings of hundreds of youth, particularly for the last 6 years. Whether it be PDP, they were also responsible for the murder of more than 100 people, or Umar Abdullah. Don't you think at the end of the day, the mainstream politics in Kashmir Valley politically has not been able to give an answer to the aspirations of the young, be it young, old, or the people who are in the graves?
I wrote in an Indian Express article also recently that mainstream politics will have to be reimagined, and we need to tell truth to the people. As of now, I do not have any plans to join any existing mainstream party. So that question gets answered, I think, automatically.
Does it mean you have closed these options of joining any existing mainstream party?
I think as of now, I plan to go to the field, listen to the ground whispers, listen to youngsters, listen to important stakeholders of the valley and the state, and then take a decision.
What about the upcoming elections? Are you going to contest?
I would be very happy to contest the upcoming elections. In fact, I believe that parliament and legislative space is a very important space, and we need well-meaning and right people there. It's just that in recent years, due to delegitimization of the electoral politics, because the way it has been conducted, we have lost interest. Our youth are not attracted to these institutions. I think we need to change that. And I wish to use the parliament as an important source of connection and engagement for bringing solutions for our place.
Can you say you are fighting independently?
I think I will be taking that decision once I talk to people And once, yeah.
So there's a large first government party because mainstream parties have nothing to offer, and their manifesto has been reduced to Sadak, Bijli, and Pani.
My only worry in Kashmir this time is that youngsters or maybe our voters, there's a lot of trust deficit. The moment you start a party, people say that it's a party sponsored by the agencies.
Exactly.
The moment you go independent, people say, oh, this is an agency person. The moment you join an existing party, then people have problems with joining the existing parties. So that's why I believe that unless there's a consensus on which side should I be actually joining,
So how much time it will take for you to make a consensus?
I plan to meet youngsters. I want to start it from tomorrow onwards only, and I hope to meet as many people and try to understand. Actually, I have been in civil service. It's my new kind of initiation into politics.
If these young people tell you to join, for example, in a case like that, if you get 4,000 or 5,000 people in one room and they tell you to join here, would you do that?
I am a man from the system, and I have an experience. My specialization is in governance. I am not essentially trained to be in politics. So I will be happy to do something in an institution where I can use my skills as a governance administrator. I wish I could do that elsewhere as well. But because Hurriyat does not give me that kind of opportunity, very rightly because they do not believe in electoral politics, we have to accept that difference of opinion. So I think maybe at this moment I may not be able to do that.
Sir, is there
I have never said that I've been frustrated with the system.
No, you were live. That is a recording with me. You said for the lynching, the rise of lynchings in the mainland frustrated you over the last 1 year.
The service did not frustrate me. I told you it was not the civil service which
Then
frustrated
you had a
me.
problem with the system. How would you convince the youngsters? Because you are, as you said, you are going to help the people.
Nobody stopped me from speaking on those issues. In fact, they can as well speak on these issues if they want to, and they can take action as well. I think it's important to remember that civil service gives a very important platform to our people to work at the cutting edge levels of governance. So it's not that somebody leaving civil service means that civil service loses its relevance. That would be very, very unfair to those people who are preparing for the exam.
The killings in Kashmir, that is one of the reasons. One of the reasons took place in 2010, in 2016. Then why didn't you speak up that time?
I have been speaking up constantly since I entered the service. But when it comes to act of resignation, I think you have to remember that resignation is a very tactical and it's a very strategic move. It cannot be used every time. It's a weapon which is used only once. So I've used it at a very right time.
Shah Faisal, there have been many attempts in the past 15, 16 years to reimagine, as you say, the politics of Jammu and Kashmir. We have heard cell phone, we have heard autonomy, bus, etc. And we are, noticing a new brand of politics which is being created by Engineer Rashid, who says plebiscite on the floor of the House. And what else are you trying to attempt at?
I think what I'm trying to
Can you
do
tell
is
us the
that
broader points of that reimagining?
exactly. So what he says is that basically, what he says is that we have this political discourse. So there are certain taboo words. Suppose the taboo word is that we should not talk about Azadi. We should not talk about RSD. We should not talk about plebiscite. All these things which are actually not necessarily the taboo words. If you're in a debate with somebody, it's okay if you can discuss these things. So I think let mainstream politics actually open its eyes to that vocabulary and reimagine it and try to own it up that we are not here. In fact, what has happened, the problem with our state presently is that we have asked politicians to deal with the municipal problems and the military to deal with the political problems. I think that's the problem this time. So we need to actually open up the political space to the politicians and leave other things for those who need to be doing it.
So you are joining in politics, move from New Delhi to, attract people towards mainstream.
That's why I told you that it's a very sensitive situation that we are in. And my intention is not actually to divide the electorate or to change the vision that others are having on Kashmir. I'm not here as an alternative. I see myself as an addition. At the same time, when I tomorrow join politics formally, when you see me in the field, you will be seeing that my vocabulary and my representation of the sentiment will be as per the narrative of the people. You will see that I'll be talking a little bit differently than how others are talking. But then at the same time, I need to go to the people and actually make them believe that this is a very credible initiative. This is not something being done just to distract people.
So do you think there is scope for mainstream party?
The way I have been engaging with youngsters, I have realized that there's a lot of anger in the way mainstream has been conducting itself for last so many years. So I do not know, this is going to be a very long journey. As of now, I believe that I need to create my niche outside the existing mainstream and maybe work for a lot many years before I can actually make some impact. And I'm ready for that.
Sir, when we say re-image